Hello, my name is Daryl Jackson, and thank you for tuning in. Today, I know I've been away for a little while. We're gonna be talking about today about are you sabotaging your dreams? And for those who are working on your careers, we're looking at, I'm gonna give you some tips on how you can improve the odds of you succeeding. And so that is my goal today. And so if you have any questions, I'll definitely get back with you. And for those who are looking for career opportunities or looking for things where they can advance their careers or looking for some advice on what they need to do to improve the odds when it's time to go look for another job, we're there to help you with that. So we want to talk about, are you sabotaging your dreams, and whether it be for a new job or whether it be for things you have in mind about opening your own business, whatever the case may be. A lot of times people say you just gotta, you know, think positive. Well, a lot of times thinking positive is not enough. So the question is what have you done in terms of opening your own business, or if you're sitting at home still because you were furloughed or laid off from your job, or is there anything that you could be doing to take advantage of the time that you have available? Meaning, are you learning a new skill? Are you doing anything that will allow you an opportunity? Maybe you want to learn a new language. For those who have degrees, who are young, have you applied for certain jobs? There are certain jobs that are out there that we can make recommendations on. Just give me a call. If you have a resume that you think might need a little bit of help, a little bit of some more enhancements to it, or need some ideas, some fresh, unbiased feedback on your resume, you can also send that to me. And that's going to be at djackson@patriceandassociates.com. And just put in there, here's my, in the subject matter, just put in my resume needs help. And we'll go from there, and we'll be in touch with you almost immediately. Well, when it comes to talking about whether or not you're sabotaging your career or not, one of the things we want people to know is that, research your passions. Talk to people who are either in the business or have subject matter experts who basically know the area of or experts in the field that you can research from. Sometimes you may be able to also go and work for someone for a bit of time to learn a little bit more about it in real time and how you can apply your expertise or some of your transferable skills and how they can be applied to another discipline. You may have worked in hospitality for a long time and you may be wanting to go into medicine, or you might want to go into other fields such as managing in other fields or sales or whatever. But the case may be is that you want to improve your odds for gainful employment, and you are looking to take care of your family, right? So we understand that. So it's not enough just to think positive. Other things you want to do is research your passions. Find those subject matter experts who can help you. And one of the things you want to do is try to develop an action plan. Develop an action plan that will allow you an opportunity to kind of write down. You actually have to formalize an action plan, sit down and write it out. Use YouTube to research, use Google or some web browser to do some research, call on some friends or who may know someone who does exactly what you're trying to do. But you need to ask a list of questions. Find out what you don't know, because you don't know what you don't know until you start digging, right? And so that's what the goal is try to get as much intel about your goal. So again, those are things you want to work on. So develop an action plan, and then also create some measurable goals for that. And so another thing you might want to do is you can't be afraid of failing, because the most successful person out there has failed probably 1,000 times. The odds are in your favor. The more chances you try, it's going to be more to your benefit, that you will take some learning from one failure to the next. So don't get harped on. Don't be so, basically don't worry so much about failure that it consumes you to a point where you are paralyzed in making some moves for your career or for your new endeavor. So make sure you don't stay there too long, because that can be the one thing that really hurts you from moving forward. So you are trying to accomplish some type of dream. You are trying to get to a new job, or you're trying to get promoted. And what skills did you not have prior to you being either laid off or furloughed, whatever the case you want to call it. But you want to focus on those things. That maybe call up an old boss, the boss that you were laid off from or worked for. Reach out to them and ask them, hey, I'm looking at some other opportunities. I would love your unbiased feedback on some things I need to work on. What that does is that basically, disarms the relationship or the communication, where they can be very vocal and helpful to you, because they want a mentor, because we all want to give great feedback. We don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But when we feel like we can trust a person, a lot of times you get that information that's all it's going to do is help you get to the next level. So call up an old boss. Ask them if you respect them enough. Tell them some things you need to work on. And those things you can work on while you are in this extra time, doing this extra time. So work on that. Now, I say don't be afraid to fail. We all get a little nervous about those things. And so you have to kind of build up your stamina to that. The more research you do will help minimize those opportunities for failure. But there's nothing wrong with failure. It's just that you just need to research. And they're going to be, because failure may be because of where you are, where you're located, region. It can be a number of variables that will create failure. Maybe be lack of interest in a certain area. And one area may have a great deal of interest for what you do. Another area may not, because of the demographics. So focus on that, okay? And yeah, you can learn from your failures. The goal is to learn from your failures, even if it's learning what not to do, learning what you need to do to improve, and that is very important. Now, think big. A lot of you guys know that we're going to be I'll be on a national broad podcast coming soon as one of the contributing panelists. And so one of the things we talk about on there is about how to think big. And so I urge you guys to get to check us out there. And that's going to be at www.arthurkeith.com. And you can find out and learn more about it. So I won't talk about it a whole lot here today, but definitely check that out. But one of the things we talk about is thinking big about your ideas. But make sure they are, I guess, realistic. All right. And that doesn't mean to downplay your big ideas. Don't do that. Because again, the more research you find, you'll realize that, you can achieve them with more information and more intel. You can go into a situation and plan better with more information. So really focus on that. Thinking big is really important, because a lot of times there are customers out there or people out there who are looking for a certain idea, and being able to relate with people, because the idea can sometimes be too soon. The public is not ready for it. And I'll give you an example. Many years ago, I guess about 25 years ago, I came up with this idea. And the idea was about opening a business where you can rent the most luxurious vehicles in the world. It was about Ford's time, and you still had Hertz and other companies out there, but we're talking about almost over 25 years ago, almost 30 years ago, where we talked about creating this company where you can rent Lamborghinis, Mercedes, and so on. Porsche, whatever you may be, because there are people who wanted to drive those things. They may not be able to buy them, but they wanted to drive them. Now, fast forward to now, you couldn't then, but fast forward to now, we're talking about almost 30 years later, or over 25 years later, you can rent any one of those vehicles. And yes, it was Majestic Auto Rental, and thank you for reminding me, Terrence. I appreciate that. The idea was sound. The research was there. We did all the research that was necessary, but it was before its time. And sometimes your ideas can be so forward thinking that it needs to match what the public is ready for at the time. So yeah, you can think big, and nowadays you can go and rent any one of those vehicles in major metropolitan areas like I'm thinking like Atlanta, Miami, California, and you can also rent them through other forms on these special apps that you can rent these cars on too. So now, again, we want you to think big, but also think about realistically how fast and how soon you can ramp up in terms of, is there interest for it? But the cool thing is, even if you do fail, do it quickly and learn from it, and then try to teach or pivot in real time and adjust really quickly on your success to make it to the next level. So I really want to focus on that. So if anybody has questions, please do not hesitate in reaching out. Also, if you do have some comments or questions in regards to how to address certain things in terms of your success and whether you're sabotaging your dreams, then send it. You can also respond to this video, and we will get back to you. And I have also other colleagues who would love to contribute and speak to your dream as well, any questions you may have. So just because I may not respond, many of my colleagues would love to respond to this video too on any questions you may have. So tip 1, we want you to kind of research your idea. Those are things that is the most important thing. It'll keep coming up. Research will help you with your approach. Okay. The second thing is develop a plan and strategy to execute. Now, you can't just sit down on it. Now, again, it's not about just thinking positive. You can't sit down on these ideas. You have to put it. You have to develop a plan, and that is the best approach because it's going to force you to think about your methods, your methodology in terms of pros and cons and things to look for, and you have a list of questions yourself to kind of have strategies for those things that what may come up, what you do in the event this happens. You know what I mean? So you're looking at all types of planning. Also, there's got to be a call to action. The call to action is really, you have to put it to work. At some point, there's a starting point that you have to do. You're going to have to start your plan. You've done all the research, and you got to put a little faith into it, and you got to put a little muscle behind it, and some investment as well, if it requires that. And sometimes the investment is just your time, and some of the investment might be monetarily, but you need to call to action to make it happen. You have to put some work behind it, and that means you have to be a beast about it. You can't just, I'm gonna, take my time to do this. You have to be a beast. You have to go after it. Do it, and don't wait. This is your dream, and so your dream depends on it. It needs you to be part of the action. You can't, if your dream is that important, and you've been thinking about this for years, right? You have been thinking about this for years. Day in and day out. When you're driving in your car, you have this dream of doing something or a dream of learning something. You have this dream. You know what they are. You have probably 3 things that you always wanted to do, but you never did it because you were afraid to do that. And so why not now? Why not ever? Why not just make it happen? And so you have to basically, tighten up. Stop looking for excuses and make it happen, because you have to act as if it's impossible to fail and just make it happen. You can't. You're doing a disservice to you, your family, and your legacy. If this thing, whatever you're working on in your mind, is the most important thing to you, you're doing disservice to it. Think about that. You have family, you have kids, you're probably going to have grandkids and so on. And they would benefit from the hard work that you put in. What else happens too is that people are watching you, and it encourages other people to do better as well. It encourages your family to work hard, and that nothing that is worth it, if it's something that's worth it, you're going to put a lot of work in towards it, and it's worth putting the effort to it. You can't sit down on it. No one's going to give it to you. You know, you have to change your mindset. And again, it's more than just thinking positive. It's more than just having an idea, but it's a lot has to do with what you do to make that idea come to happening, to come true. So think about those things. Now, I say all of this because, for many years, I always wanted to run my own business, and it took a while. I always had a distraction, and one of those distractions, I had a comfortable job, and I always wanted to work that job. I love what I did, and I was very passionate about what I did. I dreamed about it. I did it all the time, and I did it. And everybody who knows me know I was always at work. A lot of things I did not get a chance to do and spend a lot of times with family and stuff like that because I was always working on someone else's dream. I was helping them make money, helping them to achieve those financial goals, and helping that business be more sustainable, and is through my efforts, my hard efforts. Now, they paid me, and they would never pay you what you are worth and for the time that you put in, because you can never get that time back. However, I learned a lot, and I also took a while before I started trying to do my own thing. And I think about that all the time. It's like I could have been running my own business. I could have been doing the same thing that I'm doing for major companies. And I allowed that distraction to hold me back. Well, I'm asking you not to do that. You have to work. I ask you that you continue to do what you need to do to pay your bills, do what you need to do. But don't put your dreams on hold for a simple distraction that would allow you to be a better version of yourself. Very important. So whatever your dream may be, again, whether it's to learn a different language, whether it's to learn a new skill set, whether it's to go back to school and get your bachelor's, your master's, your doctorates, whatever that may be, don't let it stop you. Don't let anything stop you. Stay focused on your dream and go get it. Hey, you'll feel a lot better afterwards. I guarantee you'll feel more accomplished. And on your inside part, you'll be like, hey, I did what I always intended to do. You may find that some of your dreams that you have may have changed. It may change in the approach. It may change in terms of, it may improve. Your idea may have improved after you start to get research and start looking for information and talking to your subject matter experts and talking to and just doing everything you need to do to get that idea or thing going. You may find that your idea has improved over time because of experience, input, because the times that things are more available, technology is available now, and plus you can expand really quickly. So think about those, and so those are my tips for today. Again, and I hate I have not been around a lot because we've been working, trying to help a lot of great people in the world. So if you have questions, definitely put them out there. We'll love to help you. Again, I have friends in all types of ways, and we help with career development and we also help you with career coach and life coaches. I have those resources where if you have any questions, we can get those answered for you. So, well, I'm not going to hold you long. I just wanted to be here just to kind of talk about some things. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in. Look out for some other videos that'll be coming out, more content. If you're looking for my YouTube station, I'll put that information, a link to my YouTube station, so you can find it as well. I'll also have a link to the podcast to arthurkeith.com where you can get information there. And for those of you who are looking for jobs in the career coach and development, and for those who are looking for help trying to find good candidates and hire good people, if you have a business and you need people, you need someone to help you source them, then I do that as well. So again, I'm Daryl Jackson. My company's name is Thrill Duvall and Associates, and we focus on, and I own a business, which is Patrice and Associates. And Patrice and Associates is the largest hospitality recruiting firm in the nation, and we do a lot of executive searching. So for those of you who are looking, whether it's in accounting, whether it's in human resources, whether it's in management, whether it's directors or whatever, district managers, give me a call. Send me an email. Send me your resume, and I'll be glad to help you. In the meantime, again, thank you guys for tuning in, and we hope to hear from you soon. Share this video with some people you care about, and share it with anyone. And until next time, you guys be blessed. Have a blessed, remarkable day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.